trying to save someone's life. So I was kind of took a little bit. So I wanted to remind everyone that we have with today at, let's see, at 7, I believe it's 7 p.m. Friday with the Zora, the Blog Talk Radio call. We're having a group call on raising funds for the Celestial Chamber. So any of you that have been given a heads up on that and haven't, you might want to head on over there. That's at 5 o'clock Mountain Time. 5 o'clock Mountain Time. That's on the Blog Talk Zora of Hollow Earth. Because we're doing everything we can to raise this funding in every direction possible, because we've got so many people that really, really need this technology. So we're just pulling out all stops, going in every direction possible to raise these funds. So that's what that call is going to be about, and how we're going to do it, and the avenue that we're using to try to accelerate it to get the funds coming in. I'll be on there. Excuse me. So, also remember we have the Earth Call, the status of the planet, what's really taking place, and cleanly and clearly, with no muddleness. That's at 6 p.m. Tomorrow, Eastern Time. That's on the on this line. Getting clear about what we want is really important. I think a lot of us aren't really clear on what we want. And I don't know how many of us really do create crystal clear intentions about what we want. When we are crystal clear on what we want, the universe has a much better chance of delivering all of the goodies to us, knowing exactly in which direction our rudder is pointing. It's important for us to be gentle with ourselves so that no matter what happens, period. We know that what we create in this life for ourselves, there are a lot of things that we aren't aware that we create. And so the life that we're in will literally throw at us a few curveballs. And those curveballs can come at any time. And you won't see it. We don't see those curveballs coming. And at the time they hit, we may feel completely unprepared and unable to deal with them. And we might even come down hard on ourselves for not handling the situation in the most sweet, loving, or conscious way. It's good to know, excuse me, that we cannot always be successful all the time in life. Otherwise, we would never learn anything. It's our failures and shortcomings that give us roots that truly make us grow. I think we all know that. We know and evolve. This is why it's absolutely vital that we make the deep commitment to ourselves in this moment, in this now, to be gentle and kind and soft and easy on ourselves, no matter what life throws at us. Now, we can only do our best in life given the resources that we were given. So we anchor in the habit to be kinder to ourselves, forgive others and ourselves quicker, let go of things that throw us emotionally off balance a little faster. And the mind will always be there discerning what's good and bad, so that we don't have to identify with any judgment or criticism personally. We can sit back and be the observer on the sidelines and just watch this amazing dark and light magical play of life unfold and act itself out on stage. might want to use, okay? You can begin this the beginning of the year. You can use this now and keep using it. Excuse me. You put your name, Dear John, or Dear Mary, or Dear Anna, whatever name you have, and this is what you say. This year is going to be the best year of my entire life. I'm going to take care of my body, mind, and soul with more love, care, and conscious consideration than I ever have. I'm going to eat only those foods that bring my body into the highest vibration and consciousness possible. I am going to exercise daily, build up even more energy, health, and vitality every day. I am going to open my heart with everyone. Everyone. Becoming more honest, vulnerable, and loving each new day. I am going to let go of every bad habit that doesn't support me in creating my highest health and consciousness, replacing it with a new habit that makes me feel more grounded, real, dependable, open, and available to love. I am 100% committed to myself, enjoying myself fully, and manifesting, creating into reality the most amazing life that I can possibly imagine. I choose this or something better to be created into reality, into my future right now. And so it is. These are all things that we can do for ourselves. You know, I talk to a lot of people that are in dire situations, physically, emotionally, and there's always a key there's a situation with each of them. And it's really important, you know, so when you're not faced with these things, that you know ahead of time for yourself on who and what you are. And the key issues are the mind and the ego. Now, even though these are illusions, even though the mind is an illusion that creates another illusion, which is the ego, we still have those while we're here. And if we don't know what they're doing, then it could really pull us down deep into a situation that we may not come out of. So the ego, it's paramount that we identify the ego, and we do this. It's very simple to do this through the heart-mind. And you know what's happening, see, and that's powerful. If you know that, when you know that the ego is coming in with the mind and it's causing you to feel low, or it's causing you to feel depressed or worried or stressful or fearful. You might be going through some kind of a traumatic physical situation, you know, a disease that's overtaking you. It's really important for us to turn into a higher frequency and to oversee the ego. And you basically say, ego, you're not in charge here, I am. You're not in control. And you say the same thing with the mind, and the only way you can do that is leave them. Leave them. It's the only way. You're not going to be able to do it any other way. You've got to do it through the heart-mind. You've got to be aware of it, and only you can do that. No one's gonna do it for you. And it's always true, the more lifted we are, the more enlightened we are, and how we feel about ourselves, deeply how we feel about ourselves, how kind we are to each other and to ourselves, is absolutely paramount. If we continue with ourselves to ignore ourselves, to ignore the love within us, to ignore loving ourselves, and continually be out in the future or the past, and not really embracing ourselves. You know, a lot of us, this civilization is caught up in, it's kind of a twisted scenario, is that, believe it or not, sensuality, sexuality, sensually and sexually, and we're not talking about deviated or twisted forms of those. We're talking about purity, liberation of a society. These are emotional saturation with all of us. Many of us are very constricted and suppressed in these areas, but it's a deeply healing place to live in our own sensual energy, our own within us, so that it isn't suppressed like it is on this planet right now, feared or frowned upon. Okay? It becomes as normal as brushing your teeth. But the civilization has been so manipulated and deceived and convinced about all of these twisted things that have been brought in to the purity of sensuality and sexuality, sensually and sexually. People immediately think that, oh, that's nasty and it's bad and it's taboo, and it's unfortunate because when we embrace ourselves and love ourselves, we love everything about ourselves. And this is why the emotional aspect, the emotional frequency of this civilization is such in chaos. We don't relax about things. We feel things are taboo, that they're not good, and they should be hidden and put in a closet somewhere. And things that we find difficult talking openly about. Subjects that makes everybody squirm. You know what I'm talking about when you get in certain conversations with people. It might be your loved ones, it might be your spouses, could be anybody. But certain subjects for us become not easy for us. We kind of get withdrawn from. Oh no, you want to talk about that? No, don't. No. I don't want to talk about that. Yet we must find a way. Otherwise, we are doomed. Every individual in our society can become enlightened enough to freely talk about these taboo, which are absolutely illusions, and people find it very difficult to connect us because of how it's been presented to the civilization for so long and how it's been so twisted. But we're talking about ourselves. We're talking about who and what we are. And it's about becoming enlightened. If we don't become enlightened, where do you think we're going to be 100 years from now, 1,000 years from now? Where are we going to be? Pretty much the same place. When each of us when we drop our inhibitions and our fears and just about everything about ourselves in a relaxed, open-minded, and vulnerable way, for a lot of us, it initially may feel terrifying because as children, we were taught, what were we taught as children? All of us. That sex was this super hidden secret topic that everyone avoided. Whenever we brought up the sex topic in public, we could feel this nervous energy escalate. People's eyes would dilate, their voices became tense, and their hearts started beating faster. This is called an anxious reaction. Repeated over many, many, many years, created a deep, unconscious sexual tension inside our little, innocent, sensually alive bodies. This anxiety was fed daily through every media stream and has been molding and sexual tension is embedded so deeply in our minds that we probably are not aware that it's there. The tension is real, and it is a social disease that impacts how we approach other people, conversations, intimate relationships, and what we literally create to reality or manifest in our future, our dreams, our desires, and our spiritual connection. Man is not born into mastery. You are born a slave of unconscious forces. The first step toward mastery is to recognize your slavery. To see that you are unconscious is the beginning of consciousness. Osho. That's a good quote, and it has a lot of weight with it. Until, literally, that you can see that you are unconscious. When you know that you're unconscious, it is the beginning of consciousness. It's like all of these hidden tensions that we have been educated, trained, and engrams burned into our brains that we carry throughout our lives. It's hidden. And it's a hidden, and this is true, this is meant in a purely soft understanding and not a twisted way. This is a hidden sexual tension has become so socially neurotic that men and women cannot simply reach out and touch each other anymore without fear of a possible sexual assault accusation thrown their way. If we could freely talk about sex casually with our kids at the breakfast table, with grandma sitting there, the porn industry would not even exist right now. And with the research that has piled up that people aren't aware of mostly, that it's concluded that 1 in 8 of daily internet searches, 1 in 8 of daily internet searches are seeking erotic content. Porn is over a $3 billion industry because this deeply sensually repressed, confused society is so hard up that most men think they can become satisfied by some computer screen. This is sick sexual frustration would never happen if the cosmic orgasm was something that we were taught from the elders in our community. Once Tantra becomes a mandatory skill that all teenagers must learn in our structured, our school system, our new school system, our society will transform and step into a place of total healing. Now, this sounds totally out there for a lot of people because it's so burned into their psyches. It's taboo. It's not supposed to be talked about. It's nasty. It's dirty. It's subversive. And it has been. And I'm sharing why it has regressed or digressed into such a pool of darkness. Every society on earth right now is still signed up for sexual denial, repression, and resistance school. This is a Neanderthal approach to sex. It is the foundational cause of every disease we have on the planet today. The tantric cosmic orgasm is the best natural healer we have inside of us. If we feel dirty, shamed, or wronged for exploring orgasmic states, we become energetically imprisoned and stuck in the deepest roots of our psyche. The stuckness is why there has been more global war, anxiety, fear, calamities, and abuse in recorded history. It's good to know our history of what it is. Know that mankind's history wasn't always so sexually suppressed like we are today. In the first public Roman Olympics, the athletes performed in front of thousands of people naked. It goes to show you how accepted, adorned, and respected our natural naked bodies used to be, and how repressed our advanced, quote-unquote, advanced society has become today. If it wasn't for the major religions taking over the world, we would all still be sensually liberated beings today. This is what this is about, sensually liberated beings. And the evidence is overwhelming that our planet's sexual neurosis is climaxing. We can see it manifesting daily in the form of rape, sexual abuse, aggression, prostitution, sexual shame, guilt, fear, resentment, and deep emotional wounding, just to name a few. Each one of these traumatizing expressions is caused by an exaggerated repression of our natural mankind urge to feel connected with others in a sensual, loving way. I bet you didn't know that every man in the military is forbidden to have a lover or masturbate. This is because the corporation knows if they are satisfied, they won't have the sexual anxiety inside them needed to become killing machines. It's totally crazy what insanity is going on. Our world needs to take a step forward in maturity and publicly acknowledge the extreme fear, control, and judgment that is going on around sexual and sensual energy. Some societies are still brainwashing their younger girls to believe it's improper to show their hair or their skin in public. And the possibility that another man one day could be sensually aroused by seeing their beautiful, long, flowing hair was just too much pressure to deal with. So these little girls are suffering from heat exhaustion every day, being forced to wear full body, head to toe, back, black coverings outside in 100-degree heat. Sexual control and suppression has gotten way out of hand on this planet, and this is exacerbated masculine issue, is creating all kinds of mental, emotional, physical trauma for every woman and child on this planet. If we were all taught how to be in tune with our own sexual and sensual energy, feeling connected with it all day long, there would be such a deep relaxation, joy, and sensitivity awakened in every single one of us. We would never have the desire for war. The healing power of sensual acceptance would reach so deep into our psyche that nobody would become insensitive enough to abuse another human being, plant, animal, or our environment in any possible way. We would clean up this planet and finally become sensitive enough to stop polluting the air and the streets with gasoline-driven vehicles and move over to using electric and beyond, free energy for those European saltwater cars and many, many more technologies. When it comes down to saving this planet or any individual's life from detonating into a total self-annihilation, there's only one certain 100% certain way that will work. We must become aware and feel into the sexual repression that had been deeply programmed inside us. We must realize how sensually unsatisfied we truly are and how good it feels to reach out and feel safe to receive touch by our physical community. How many people, how many of you are insecure about hugging, full body hug of another? How many? How many men are insecure about hugging a woman, just hugging her, a full body hug? That's it. No devious, sick, twisted agenda. How many of us only do when we hug? It's so ridiculous. We kind of bump our chest and tap our shoulders and, oh, it's nice to see you. It's absolutely ludicrous. So if we don't become sensually satisfied with ourselves, reach out and feel safe to receive touch in our physical community, this would initiate the first healing response to begin untangling the root sensual neurosis embedded in our mankind psyche, or as many have been conditioned to say, the color of man psyche, human. Tantra says learn from the cats, how they sleep, how they relax, how they live in a non-tense way. And the whole animal world lives in that non-tense way. Man, if you guys will notice something, if you look at the animals which we're part of on this planet, do you see any of them living the way we do? About sensuality and sexuality? They live in a non-tense way. The whole animal world lives that non-tense way. Man has to learn this because man has been conditioned wrongly. Man has been programmed wrongly. Osho. Every single problem that we have in life always stems from our inability to deeply relax into our feelings and senses. And when we are sexually or sensually satisfied, we can relax completely, naturally, with absolute joy and ease. And when we know we have an entire community of people we can receive physical affection from at any time, our deepest tension drops, and we can fully relax into our body, mind, and life. Now, we're not talking about deviance and twisted and abuse and all of those negative that they've attached to the purity of who and what we are. When full relaxation occurs, we open up spiritually and experience our infinite connection with the God. This is where we discover the greatest healing inside. Finding the multi-orgasmic tantric experience is the oldest secret in history for finding a direct doorway to God. Why do you think people scream when they are having sex? Think about this. It's a cosmic passage to experience that God is alive in every cell in our body. When we begin opening up this natural connection, we discover our spiritual essence is present and fully activated in the bedroom. And this is something that people will not talk about because, no. And how we have become so twisted from our perspectives and how we view it. Say, how we run from it. It's just amazing. Allowing our sexual energy to freely and continuously flow up our spine all day long is one of the greatest hidden anti-aging secrets there is. It maintains peak mental. Understand what that means. Allowing your sexual energy to freely and continuously flow up your spine all day long. It is one of the greatest hidden anti-aging secrets there is. And now understand how the handlers of this planet and this civilization for hundreds of thousands of years have conditioned us to be the opposite, to suppress it, to hide, to feel bad, worried, anxiety. It maintains peak mental, emotional, and physical health, spiritual contentment, and a perpetually fun-loving relationship with being alive. So when you take that sexual energy and you allow it to flow up your spine all day long, this is what the results are. It maintains peak mental, emotional, and physical health, spiritual contentment, and a perpetually fun-loving relationship with being alive. When we commit to being a totally sensually alive being, we become a more sensitive, open-hearted, open-minded soul. This makes it easier for us to manifest, create into reality, attract, and magnetize whatever we want or desire in this life. Orgasmic people are way more magnetic than someone who is sensually suppressed or sexually ashamed. If you're having trouble creating into reality or manifesting anything you want in life, take a closer look at how sensually liberated you actually are. The more sensual we become, the more our six senses are activated, and we can connect with our full energy, spiritual power, and psychic intuition. We can foresee and feel our ultimate destiny happening and know exactly what our place is in its creating into reality manifestation. This sexual energy awakens the kundalini at the base of the spine, which clears away all the negative egotistical blocks, stopping us from attracting everything our heart yearns for. And when are sexually satisfied, when we, each of us, are sexually satisfied, we are happy, satisfied, and attached to nothing. We have no neediness, no demanding energy, nothing lacking inside. We are full, overflowing with life. And this combination turns us into a super powerful, creating into reality manifesting magnet. The more we feel connected with our God-given sexual energy, the more it enhances our divine spiritual connection. We discover that most ordinary moments are deeply spiritual, enlightening, and the overflowing with sweet, juicy energy. This is the secret to a truly vibrant, passionate life, alive, that is healing for each and every one of us and everyone around us. You cannot evolve very far spiritually if you cannot relax sexually or happen to cringe when touched by another human being, color of man being. A tree's branches can only grow as high as its roots are deep. Any one of us living a high and holy spiritual life who is not rooted and open sexually will become a dry, boring head trip, feeling they are missing out on something. When a personal loss, death, or accident occurs, the loss of all faith in God and wonder why their spiritual path was uprooted and withered away. If they are connecting with their sexual chakra, allowing it to play and move daily, the root will have energy, flexibility, and their heart will be able to expand and find solid ground when life's big shattering moment hits. Tantra is the natural way to God. When we become so completely instinctual, so mindless, we merge with the ultimate nature. The woman disappears and becomes a door for the ultimate, and the man disappears and becomes a door for the divine. Osho. If you ever find yourselves feeling trapped behind some huge sexual fortress, and the good news is that it's quite pleasurable to open and move through all the sexual, sensual tension and suppression you were given, you can start simple and begin giving and receiving more heart-opening hugs every day. Share a 10-minute hug with a friend every day, where you both melt and feel the heart centers open and merge. This simple deepening technique heals the entire nervous system on the deepest levels. Haven't you ever, and what holds us back from just hugging? That's a sensual energy, okay? It's part of us. And look what we do. We talk on our phones. We text on our phones. We're so consumed with external authority and reality that we ignore ourselves. When was the last time you, and not meant to be deviant or subversive. This is just pure and clean. It's part of us. Share a 10-minute hug with a friend every day. Could you do that? Think about that. That'll heal the entire nervous system on the deepest levels. When our loving, sensual heart energy is welcomed, expected, and encouraged by our community, we have that little something extra to look forward to that can make us jump out of bed with joy. The more we practice being a sensually alive human being, mankind, the more it gives others permission to do the same. One day, your entire community will be free from all sensual tension, and everyone will know exactly how to find deep inner peace and love within any time they need it to be. Sex right now is one of the most provocative, emotionally stirring, morally challenging, and deeply wounded topics we can explore. It doesn't have to be this way. Exploring the tantric path is one thing more powerful enough to defeat this enormous sexually wounded monster that is unconsciously ruling our lives. Accepting that our sensual and spiritual connection come from the same source of energy is the first step on this journey. Where do you think it comes from? It comes from the God within us, the pure consciousness. It doesn't come from the body. It comes from the God. That it is literally conduited through the body. Accepting that our sensual and spiritual connection come from the same source of energy is the first step on this journey. Tantra is not technique, but prayer. It's not head-oriented, but a relaxation into the heart. Please remember this. All sexual healing begins with awareness. When we become more aware, when we become more sensitive, and with a higher sensitivity, we cannot allow sexual trauma, shame, aggression, or suppression to occur to anyone. A truly sensitive being is only interested in freedom, enlightenment, love, and enjoying the pleasure of their own sexual and sensual energy flowing through them now. You all of us, have this flowing through us 24/7. But the suppressed sexual energy, which everyone believes is normal, becomes the next taboo as we become truly conscious beings who are liberating ourselves from the mass social, sensual slavery. It is this sweet inner awareness, heightened sensitivity, and emotional vulnerability that sparks the flame for spreading a sexual healing wildfire through our community and our lives. With enough awareness, we will all be riding the waves of relaxation through every sexual conversation and enjoying an abundance of heart-opening sensual connections. Religion has completely twisted and suppressed and vilified our own sexuality and sensuality, which is a natural flow of relaxation, of connection with our God within, pure consciousness. And with enough awareness, we will all be riding those waves of relaxation and enjoying an abundance of heart-opening sensual connections. And on a long-term karmic planetary level, the good news is that this sexual repressed insanity is destined to change. With enough time, the great pendulum of life always swings back on its own accord. The collective consciousness, all of us, all of those who aren't even in body, gets smarter. It evolves a little bit after every generation. And as the masses become more globally aware and educated, they become more curious, explorative, yearn to experience new thought patterns, expanded social rules, soon develop a completely new paradigm to live in. What was once ridiculously, religiously forbidden soon becomes yesterday's news, as a centrally repressed society that this is on this planet suddenly awakens and expands beyond its limits and boundaries. And believe it or not, at some point in the future, there will come a day when the entire education system will wake up and start teaching all the children how to embrace, express, and allow for their Kundalini energy to move through them. When the system realizes the power of Kundalini for healing, creating into reality, manifesting, creating spiritual connection, they'll know it's essential for the mental, emotional, physical health of our entire society. And when every adolescent in our school systems is taking Tantra classes, from the point that Tantra is prayer, learning how to become a healthy parent, how to meditate and quiet the mind, how to heal the body through multiple orgasmic energy. This doesn't mean intercourse. You'll find teenagers and adults blossoming in future generations with real confidence, emotional maturity, spiritual connection, and real inner peace. The sexually repressed people of planet Earth are slowly waking up and becoming more conscious and enlightened and aware. The social internet media is working at lightning speeds, educating the masses to step away from their TV, learn new ways of thinking, feeling, and perceiving reality. People are realizing how powerful they truly are and able to manifest, create into reality whatever they want in their lives. And we're approaching that, guys. We're real near it. And in this near future, we will see more and more people realizing the healing power from liberating their sensuality, breaking free from their old school social limitations, and discovering their kundalini spiritual power to create into reality and manifest anything they can dream of in their lives. And we can thank God. We can thank the pure consciousness that we have been given this massive societal sexual tension, because when it finally releases, there's going to be the biggest cosmic orgasm this galaxy has ever seen. And as Wayne Dwyer made the statement, give love and deep, eternal acceptance to those you encounter and notice what happens. There was a guy, his name was Leo Buscaglia, and he would run around hugging people. That's what he believed, and he was on the right track. He would hug people. There was another guy, he was a motivational speaker. His name was Charlie Tremendous Jones. He was about 6'5", 6'6". And I went to a lot of his presentations, and he would run around and he would just hug people. It'd freak him out. It wasn't meant to be a joke. It was a genuine expression of his sensuality and sexuality as who he is, and we all are. It's amazing. We don't see this, do we? Do we see each other hugging? Can you hug your friend for 10 minutes? Think about that now. We're not talking about the twisted aspect of this draconian-run civilization. We're not talking about deviant intercourse and debauchery and everything. We're talking about our own sexuality and sensuality as beings, our kundalini, our release of stress, tension, fear, anxiety of ourselves. When we accept the fact that we are lovable just the way we are without having to change a thing, it makes it easier for others to love you. But if you're always trying to figure out, you don't like this about yourself, you don't like that about yourself, you don't feel this way, it was my parents' fault because of this, and it was this because of this. People can feel it when you love yourself. It feels like a warm, welcoming invitation from the heart. I invite everybody on this planet to imagine that everyone loves you exactly the way you are right now. Take the leap in consciousness and try it out. You'll start feeling that it is true and begin creating into reality more loving experiences all through your day. The universe wants us to experience more and more love every day. And believe it or not, this is one of the great purposes of life. To let in as much love as you possibly can. There is not a shortage of love. It's not going to run out in this universe. The greatest love is already here, all around each and every one of us right now. And all we need to do is make the decision, open our heart just a crack. Allow warm, cozy energy to come in. You can find it easy to allow yourself to receive love because you are a good person. You have a good heart, and you have good intentions. Believe these things, because deep, deep, deep down, you know they are true. The highest phenomenon is when love is a state and not a relationship. The highest phenomenon is when love is a state and not a relationship. Not that you're in love, but that you are love. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are, and the first thing that we want to do is relax our bodies. Head to toe, inside and out. Embrace yourself. Love yourselves. Isn't it time? You know, you can feel it in your heart mind. You can feel this rhythm that continually flows through you. Most of us suppress it forever. We came here to enjoy this life, not to fight it. So relax the body. The body will respond absolutely happily to relax. Feel the flow. Feel that energy, your sensuality, your sexuality, and who you are. You're pure consciousness. You're the God. Body will respond like, wow, I am in seventh heaven. And as you relax the body, you want to breathe. You want to be in the now. If you go into the now and you stay into the now, then your sensuality and sexuality becomes more, you become more aware of it. You let go of all these taboos and constrictions and guilt and anxiety and, oh, that's not good, and I shouldn't do that or think that for myself. It's about you and loving you and embracing you. If you can't hug yourself for 10 minutes, how are you going to hug anybody else for 10 minutes? The now is the now, the space between heartbeats. All we have is the now. It's focusing on the moment. It's doing whatever you're doing right this very moment, you're focused on it. Some of us go into the past, and we all go into the past and we reminisce, but we don't stay there. But unfortunately, when we don't stay there, a lot of us will go into the future and step right over the now. We're either living in the future or the past. Most of us do not live in the now. And then we do, we don't feel comfortable with it because we feel there must be something better or something more out there when it's all in there. So then, what we do is some of us will stay in the past. We will take that past, we will move it into a future that doesn't exist, and then we will relive the past in that future, skipping the now, and not ever creating the future. So, what do? How do you focus on the now? It's not easy for us to do that. We breathe. We use our breath. Our breath is divine, positive energy. We use the breath. We focus because the breath is the now. So it's not that easy to focus on your breath, okay? Because the ego mind is sitting there trying to pull you away. No, come out here in the future, here. Or go in the past. Sit there by the pond in the past. So your breath focuses you on the now, which is spectacular. And the breath, divine positive energy, we take it in through the nose and we let it out through the mouth. And as we breathe it in through the nose, this divine positive energy, we bring it up through 7 vortexes of energy going right up the center of our body to the top of our head. These are colored wheels of light. They're all different flower shapes and geometric shapes in the centers. And they are super powerful. They connect our spiritual energy with our physical energy. It is, where do you think the Kundalini energy comes from? From the root chakra. And where is that energy? That's the Kundalini. That's our sensuality, our sexuality. That's our connection to the God in pure consciousness. And what do? We suppress it all across the planet. So we take our divine positive energy with our God force energy that flows. The God flows through us. It flows from the root chakra to the crown chakra. The God force energy, the pure consciousness, that which created us, flows through us. And our divine positive energy, our breath, focuses on the now. So we bring this through the center of our body through these energy vortexes. The Muladhara, the red wheel of light, the root chakra. This is career, money, mindset, sense of belonging. It represents our foundation and feeling of being grounded, of feeling that we have nothing to worry about. It's at the base of our spine in the tailbone area. What are our emotional issues that we are faced with? If there is something amiss with this root chakra, there's survival issues such as financial independence, money and food, physical associations, spine, rectum, legs, arms, and circulatory system. Then we go to the orange wheel of light, the sacral chakra, the Vadhisthana. And what is this? It is our sexuality and pleasure. This is the energy vortex. It's our connection and ability to accept others and new experiences. It's our lower abdomen, 2 inches below the navel, 2 inches in. What are the emotional issues? Connection, sense of abundance, well-being, pleasure, sexuality. What are the physical associations? Our reproductive organs, our kidneys, our bowels, our immune systems. Then we move to the solar plexus chakra, the golden yellow wheel of light, the Manipura. This is our personal power and ability to channel. It's our ability to be confident through the heart-mind and to flow with our lives and to be the masters of our lives. It's in the upper abdomen and stomach area. What are the emotional issues? Self-worth, self-confidence, self-esteem. Physical association, central nervous system, pancreas, liver, digestive tract, and skin. Then we have the emerald green wheel of light, the heart chakra, the anahata. This is our love, our relationships, and self-acceptance. It's our ability to love. Now, if you're suppressing your sensual and sexual energy from flowing freely up through the spine to the top of the head through these chakras, what do you think is going to happen? The location is the center of our chest above our hearts. It's emotional issues, connections, love, joy, inner peace. And our physical association, of course, the heart, the thymus, lower lungs, circulatory system, immune system. If you don't love yourself, are you going to take care of yourself? If you don't love yourself, are you going to take care of yourself? No. Why do you think our immune systems are so compromised all the time? Why do you think a lot of us get so sick sometimes? Then we go to the blue wheel of light, the throat chakra, the Vishuddha. This is our self-expression. This is to be able to communicate. You go to your best friend, you say, I'd like to hug you for at least 10 minutes. What do you think people are going to do? If they're all miscombobulated, what are they going to do? Nah, that's weird. You're weird. I don't want to do that. What are you, weird? Strange? You a sexual deviant? You see what's happened? Then we go to the third eye chakra, the indigo wheel of light, the ajna. This is our intuition, sense of purpose, direction in life. It's our ability to focus on and see the big picture. Do you see the love that you are? Really, truly, deep within you, your heart, mind. Can you hug yourself for 10 minutes without thinking it's strange, weird, sick? Can you hug others for 10 minutes? Hug someone 10 minutes every day. Now, if you had a handful of women and you were a guy and you said you wanted to hug each one of them for 10 minutes, each one for each day, and that's it, what do you think would happen? Yeah. Now, the third eye chakra is our brow chakra. It's right between our eyes. It's right between the brow. Forehead, between the eyes. Emotional issues, intuition, imagination, wisdom, ability to think and make decisions. Physical association, pituitary gland, eyes, and sinuses. Then we come to the crown chakra, the Sahasrara. This is a connection to the divine. What is the divine? It's our pure consciousness, the God within us. This is the highest chakra. It represents our ability to be fully connected spiritually. Can you be fully connected spiritually if you don't love yourself? If you don't allow your kundalini energy to flow up through the spine, the top of the head, just like a fountain, all day long. Your sensuality, your sexuality. Now, the crown chakra is the top of our head. Emotional issues, inner and outer beauty. How we perceive ourselves. How do you look at yourself? Are you beautiful to yourself? It's our connection to spirituality. It's pure bliss. And it's connected to our pineal gland, our brain, our nervous system. We're all consciously aware that we are of and from, hopefully we're consciously aware, that we are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. We're also consciously aware that we are merged, the heart, mind, the higher self, the spirit, the soul. walking the earth. Now, we have others with us. We have the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes. This is a civilization that vibrates at a different frequency than we do, a higher frequency. And there are trillions of them. And we see them a lot in life. We meet with them. We talk with them. Not necessarily do we know them. It's usually a random stranger. And not necessarily do we recognize the fact on who we're talking with until they're not there. But we're talking to ourselves, a part of ourselves. They're talking to a part of themselves. They're consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 can surround any one of us at any one time because of their vibrational frequency. They can hold a small space in a large number. And they're with us. And it's blissful in this meditation. My Kundalini runs constantly. It's phenomenal. It's magna-glorious to have them all with us and acknowledge it and be consciously aware that we're viewing other aspects of ourselves, each and every one of us. We have the Ascended Masters there with us. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda Jesus, El Morya, Abundantia, Pel, Thoth. These are those who have mastered ascension out of body, physical form, and hold God form, pure consciousness. Are we them and are they us? Yes. We're all different aspects of each other. We're all experiencing different avenues, different existences, but all in inevitability as the one. We are mastering ascension into body and experiencing physical form so that we can perfect our creation. We create experience so that the experience can teach us that we can literally perfect our creation. We're constantly perfecting our creation. So we're all compelled to call upon all of the other reflections of ourselves. So we call upon all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. And only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. And they come in the Gugaplexes. One Gugaplex fills this universe. They come in trillions from every direction. And they're with us now. We call upon all of the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, beneath earth, all of these civilizations and species, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, and forming the circle of light. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now. Feel the emergence, the love that we are, the sensuality, the sexuality that flows through each and every one of us. The release, the relax, the ease, the peace, the joy, the love, the God, the pure consciousness, all flowing through us. Does it make any sense that we put a big stop sign on a brick wall and a steel wall up that stops it? We call upon all of the off-worlders, the galactics, the celestials, only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude. Do you honestly think that all of these civilizations, that none of them have egos? That none of them suppress the love that they are? If you said, well, no, they don't have any of that, you would be wrong. celestials, the off-worlders, the galactics. You'd be surprised if you sat in a session with all the galactics and listened to them talk, communicate. We're only familiar with a handful of them, and we're barely familiar with that. There's over 1,000 civilizations that travel through this solar system every day, and the ones that we are familiar with, this includes all the levels and species: Pleiadians, Sirians, Andromedans, Arcturians, Feline, Zeta Reticuli, Greys, Nords, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. And if I sat here and named them all throughout this universe, we'd be here for literally months. Now, they have been assisting us in our evolution, our enlightenment, and our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and slavery. And they come in the billions, and they're with us now. See this in your heart, mind, motion picture. All of us gathering here, all of us love, all of us from Source Creator, pure, deep, eternal love, liberating this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now, in this meditation, a circle of light. It's absolutely magna glorious. See it. Feel it. We also call upon all of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've been inhabiting. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of this circle of light. And they are with us in the billions now. We call upon all the light energy beings who have decided in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of this circle of light, to be housed in the following forms: on, in, above, and below this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. Only those who are consciously aware that they are of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal love, and of and from the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest eternal gratitude, can be with us in this now, in this meditation, in the forming of the circle of light. And we've only seen maybe 1% of them. Shapes, color, sizes, and forms, configurations. And the ones that we're somewhat familiar with are the fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, earth, air, water, fire, ether, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, and the minotaur, and many, many, many more. And they come in the trillions, and they are with us now. And we're all together, all flowing, without obstruction. All of our sensuality, all of the God, the pure consciousness, all of our sexuality, all of our kundalini, all together, all of us assembled here in liberation of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya. Our gods is one, arm in arm, hand in hand. We're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind. Gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, abundance, all flowing through us, always flowing through us, never not. Only we have the power to obstruct it, to become depressed, conflicted, guilt-ridden. We're releasing that. And our God force energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, forever, beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. We're all one. We're all love. And we're all God, pure consciousness. And that is not an argument. We form a massive circle of light of the pure, deep, eternal love that we all are. This light is so brilliant and so bright, it grays out the darkness of space. It floods all of our brothers and sisters, all the ones that are asleep, all the ones in turmoil, all the ones in chaos, all the ones in pain, all the ones in suffering, with deep, pure, eternal love and gratitude and sensuality and sexuality, all of it. It is our trueness. It is what we have been created in deep, eternal love to enjoy, to express ourselves, to be truly the love that we are that created us. Not just intermittently, but always. It would take over 1,000 billion suns in this solar system to even come close to the brilliance of this circle of light. It can be seen through all universes, all directions, all existences, and it continues to intensify, and it continues to expand throughout creation. We begin to levitate up above this planet as the circle of light in numbers that cannot be described throughout existence, all together. And as we do this, we come into a massive gossamer field of trillions of vibrant, colored, reflective mirrors, literally reflecting all of us back and forth of different aspects of ourselves. Some we have not even been aware of until now. And as we do this in this gossamer field, which is deep, pure, eternal love and gratitude and abundance and joy and gentleness and kindness and generosity and humbleness, it floods all of our brothers and sisters, all life, the highest supreme value in the universe, head to toe, inside and out. We come upon a crystalline light tower. Some of us step outside our physical form to float effortlessly above our bodies, and we see this crystalline light tower, and we created it, and it's larger than the solar system. It's massive. So we look in the center of the column, and we see this beautiful oblong sphere, and in the center is golden white light, and it is softly sending out a shimmering wave that literally saturates all of us. And it is the purest, deepest, eternal love that we could possibly experience, which is a reflection of us. And all of these multiple vibrant colors surrounding it, and waves coming out like mist, like a soft rain, saturating all of us head to toe, inside and out, of more of what we are. Deep, eternal love, sensuality, sexuality, bliss, joy, peace, prosperity, abundance, all of it. Feel that through your heart minds. Feel how it saturates that which you are, and embrace that which you are. Embrace the love that you are, each and every one of us. This external crap is just crap. It's nothing more. The true paradise is within each and every one of us. Let's discover it. Let's not stop discovering it. Let's embrace it. Let's hug it. this crystal light tower, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down and saturate all of us, inside and out, head to toe. Throughout existence, existence and existence, everything and everything, nothing and nothing. And each of us are drops of this golden ocean. And each of us contain the essence of this golden ocean. Is the ocean the drops, or are the drops the ocean? Both. There's no separation. We then see our meditative sphere set center circle. We created this sphere well over 2 years ago. It holds well over 1,000 of our meditations. All of us intending and sending these meditations for the liberation of each and every one of us to discover the true, deep, eternal love and God, pure consciousness that each and every single one of us are. This is not an argument, and it isn't a debate. It is. This meditative sphere continues to intensify and expand with pure, deep, eternal love, gratitude, bliss, joy, sensuality, sexuality, happiness, contentment, peace, flow. Our Kundalini energy is not obstructed ever again, and it flows 24/7 up our spines. We are in pure bliss 24/7. This is why it can be seen, heard, and felt, and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond and forever, and it continues to intensify and it continues to expand. Can you hug someone for 10 minutes? I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Deep breath out through the mouth. Move slowly. Love is a state and not a relationship. And not that you are in love, but that you are love. Love is a state and not a relationship. Not that you are in love, but that you are love. Take this with you the rest of the day into the evening and night and into the following morning. We'll return here Saturday, 3 p.m. Eastern.